Hi, welcome to another episode of Online in Rocky River and Beyond. My name is Walter Lesh, and today we're going to be looking at two very big websites, the support pages for both Microsoft and Apple. When you go to their main websites, Microsoft.com and Apple.com, you can see that they both have support links at the top level menus of their sites. When you click on each, it takes you to their support page, and you can see that here still the two sites are very similar. They both have headings at the top that are similar. They have a banner picture. Microsoft puts their search box in it while Apple puts theirs below. I should tell you that these pages have been halved with Snap on the screen so that you can see they do scale. If I were to make these full size, the numbers of products across would change, as would the rest of the page. So they do scale depending on the kind of screen you're using. The options menus in the upper left-hand corner of each site are very similar. Here they are both popped open, and you can see that they concentrate on products, and they have a link to support, but each one, in each case, it takes you back to the main support page. Once you click on the support search box, however, the similarities pause or they really end. And that's what we'll take a look at. So let's go explore the websites of each site. So what we see right away is that once we get past the search box, we see that the remaining sections of the main support pages are sometimes very different. On Microsoft's website, we see some of their popular products and issues. And then because they make so many products, they have a link to more Microsoft products. And when you click on that, then you really see that things are different. So they have a popular section, a section entirely about Windows, a section about their main productivity software called Office, and then a section about apps, the kinds of devices that they make, some developer and IT topics, business and organizations topics, and more. And then at the end, they have a kind of bottom menu that goes into the main areas of their site. So on Apple's support website, as I said earlier, the search box changes and is different than the search box at Microsoft. When you click in Apple's search box, you get a list of quick links that probably have to do with reasons why many people come to the support site. They forgot their Apple ID password. They forgot the passcode for one of their devices. They want to do something with their account, their subscriptions. They want to update because they saw something about the latest iOS update, and a way to contact Apple support. And then it gets different still. So as I scroll down the page, we see that Apple concentrates very much on their products and the main kinds of services that they have. They repeat a couple of those quick links from the search box. So for getting your Apple ID or password, contacting Apple, repairing, and billing and subscriptions. And even here's the update to iOS 14, a little bit about their trade-in program for devices and ways to get support, service and support from Apple experts, advice about counterfeit parts and scams, and then some of their other service programs. And at the bottom, just like at Microsoft, they have a menu system that takes you to main areas of their company. Because the companies concentrate on somewhat different areas, I decided to take Microsoft's website to the All Products page where I can click on one of their devices, the Microsoft Surface, and I'll do something similar over here on the Apple support page and click on iPad. So I click on Surface, and it takes us to the beginning of support for that page, notice it says Surface Help and Learning. And when I get to iPad on Apple's website, it starts talking about iPad support. So it's a little different in each case. The iPad support area continues with the kinds of topics that you would see people coming to the site with and questions with. And it goes on to talk about updating, getting to know an accessory, learning, identifying your iPad, backing it up. So topics of things like what to do and how to do that. On Microsoft's website, they ask you to select a Surface device if you need help with a particular thing, selecting an accessory like the Surface Pen, more support options, and then that familiar kind of company menu. And Apple's continues down with more how-to topics. So each one really has help and learning in that case. So if I click on Surface Laptop, here are different areas of concern there, exploring it, doing things, trending topics. So they're putting up what's trending in terms of people using support and questions being asked, and then the familiar company menu. So as we scroll down in Apple's, they have the user guide available, the technical specs, searching for more topics. And this looks like it's going to take us to some kind of community of users. So it's our Apple support community can help you find answers. And then you can ask tech questions of somebody there. And then another kind of menuing system at the bottom. I did find that Microsoft's website is very consistent in terms of using the bottom menu this way, whereas Apple sort of changes it in this fashion here. But when you start looking through things, you see that there are very similar topics. So one of the things that's different is that on the front page, when I clicked on something on Microsoft's website, it opens tabs. So each time I've clicked there, I've ended up at another tab. Some people find that very handy. Some people may not. You might find that less handy on a mobile device if it opens new tabs. On Apple's website, it stays on the same screen as far as I can tell in exploring these. So you would click your back arrow to come back, whereas on the Microsoft website, you might close a tab or simply come back to a previous tab. Now, most people that are seeking support don't go to a website expecting to learn and familiarize themselves with the entire website, hence the search box. And what I've done here is I've put the same question in each search box and tried to use generic terms. And I discovered pretty quickly in doing this that it doesn't work. Each company has their own terminology, their own devices, their own names for things, and sometimes that doesn't work very well. But I tried to be generic on this question just to kind of show what the search results were like on each website. So I typed, how do I back up my computer into each one? I'm going to execute the search for Microsoft's website. And then I'm going to come over, click, and execute the search for Apple's website. And we start to see that things are really different. So Microsoft doesn't make computers. They make operating systems for computers, for the most part. And Apple makes largely devices, and they have operating systems which go on those famous devices. In this case, on Microsoft's website, I get the topic of backing up and restoring in Windows 10, and it goes to a section called File History and tells you how to do it. And it even gives you buttons to figure things out, a way to give feedback, and then more search results. And it scrolls down, it only shows those 8. It asks again at the bottom if that was helpful. On Apple's website, when I clicked how do I back up my computer and searched for that, it says I got 587 results. And the first result is about backing up your Mac, right? That's their equipment. And what can you do with your Mac? How to back up your iPhone, iPad, and iPod Touch. I backed up my iPhone to my computer, and when When it asked if I wanted it encrypted, I said yes. So what's interesting then is the results for Microsoft's website are entirely things from Microsoft. But when I look at Apple's search results, 587 results, some of these don't look like they come from Apple. It looks like these are questions and responses. So here it says discussions. And so not all of these are official articles and things like that. And it goes on for pages and pages, right? Then I noticed at the top, they have a filter button. And this is where you can really drill down and change the question that you've asked. So if I say, okay, I want to ask the communities of people this question. So when I click that, it resets, it cuts the responses by more than half, and it starts this question and answer kind of feature. So if I say how to back up stuff on my iPhone 6 to my non-Mac, and that's a recent question. So somebody has an older iPhone that they're using. How can I back up my iPhone if there is not enough memory on my computer? So when I click on that, it goes to that discussion, and then they have recommended answers. You can look at that answer, or you can scroll down and look at the rest of the replies to that question. On Microsoft's website, we don't see that. We don't see it as a feature in the search results. So Apple uses the filtering idea in order to show that. And these little check marks here correspond, I think, to the Apple recommended answer to that question. It could be somebody that doesn't work for Apple, but they have marked that as a good answer. And I've seen that on other websites too. Something that I thought was interesting, I've come back to the main support pages of each company and I've put in a different question. So this is a natural language question about where can I repair my product. In the case of Microsoft, I'm going to ask where can I repair my Surface, and I'm going to execute that search. It added something, it said all products very quickly at the end. So it's going to answer that from the perspective of an all products area. And if I say, where can I repair my iPad? I press enter, and then it brings up results. And here again, I think the problem's going to be with Apple's website, not a problem, but different. I need to filter those results. So I'm going to click on the filter, and I'm going to click on support articles and see what happens there. So in the case of Microsoft's website, the very first thing is how to get service for Surface. Get service for your out of warranty or damaged Surface. Microsoft Complete for Surface accident protection claims. So how to get service for an older or damaged device, and where can I investigate accident protection claims. On Apple's website, use the Find My app to locate a lost or stolen device, track your period with cycle tracking, find friends and share your location. So these search results don't seem to answer the question, where can I repair my iPad? But let's go into the filter again and see if there's anything in here. So when I look up and down in here, I don't really see something that indicates where I should go, but let's try communities. And where to refine my repair ID. My grandson lost his iPad. We are trying to locate it. My find is turned off. How do we locate iPad? So the search results here don't seem to match up with the question that I've asked, but it's possible that I've simply just asked it in the wrong way. So if I take that away and I say something like iPad repair locations, it may give us different results. And in fact, here we see the very first thing is a store locator and then a way to contact Apple for support and service. And that brings up the issue of how we search. We human beings like to talk in what they call natural language. We use complete sentences. We use punctuation indicating surprise or questions and things like that. Whereas a computer system still functions best sometimes when we put in the important words of what we're asking. So if I just put in surface repair locations, and I didn't spell it right, and enter that, how to get service for surface, how to get service for surface, fix common surface problems, right? So the way we ask questions can be important in terms of the kinds of results that we get. At this point, I have done a search for repairing a device with each company, and I'm going to click on a link for each and see what happens then. So here is a link for how to get service for Surface. I've clicked on that, and now I'm going to click on the link to contact Apple for support and service. So when I click on that, I see a picture of 2 Apple employees, and it says that I can see a list of phone numbers around the world, and that they're giving me some information indicating that I should have my serial number ready or start my my support request online first and then be connected to an expert. It then lists phone numbers for different areas. I can see by the scroll bar on the far right that it's quite a long list. I'm going to go over and grab it. And then it talks about different issues with calling for support, goes on to other countries, and then finally at the bottom it repeats that information about using phones, and then at the bottom it asks whether it was helpful and gives me a way to submit questions to the support community and also to starting the support request online. On Microsoft's website, I see some things to do before requesting service. So registering the Surface device, troubleshooting the problem, a question asking if it's different for that it must be different for business customers, and then ways to request service and get service, and then frequently asked questions, related topics, ways to get more help, things to look at in terms of more information and training, a feedback question, and then that familiar company menu at the bottom. While I was on Microsoft's website, their support page, I noticed that they have big sections about learning and doing things, learning more, and it looks like they have videos as well. On Apple's website, I didn't really see that until I got down to the gray area with drop-down menus here. So under resources, I did find Apple support videos. So I went to the search box at the top of each and I did a search for support videos. And these are the results. So here, the support videos are going to be all over the place because, of course, there are so many products. Same thing here with Apple's website, doing things in all sorts of different devices and products and apps and things like that. So when you're coming into a support website as big as these companies are, you probably should be as specific as possible with that. So instead of just searching for support videos, maybe search for support videos and then put in what the topic is in addition to that. So if I'm looking for support videos for Surface Wi-Fi, I search for that. Connect Surface to a wireless network. On Apple's website, I'll do support videos for iPad Wi-Fi. Share your internet connection from iPad. Set up cellular service on iPad. So we can see that we get much better results if we try to be as specific as possible. It's probably better to start Either way, you can start very generally and then realize that you need to be more specific, or you can start being very specific, and if you don't get the results you want, then make it a little more general from there. What I've done here is I have clicked on an individual search result and gone through it in each case and arrived at the bottom of the page. And on each website, it's asking me if this information was helpful or not. So I'm going to indicate yes in each case. And similarly, it's asking if I would like to provide more feedback. And in both cases, it's reminding me not to put in any personal information. So I can add more information to my feedback and send it to the company. And the reason why this is important is that we can help these companies become better and support us more by telling them what we liked, disliked, and how we used things. So I'm going to say no thanks for Microsoft here and just leave this part empty. I hope you never have to go to those support sites, but if you do, I hope the information we presented today helps you. Join us next time for Online in Rocky River and Beyond, where we talk about how the library can help you virtually. And you should see that drop on YouTube in December. Thank you.